So yeah, so when I first met Jeff, the founder of Trade Desk, he was starting a company in a market I knew really well. My startup had been in that market, and I had invested in a couple of companies in that market already. So I knew what he was trying to do, obviously he was, an amazing founder, and I think it wasn't clear to me or to anyone, I think, whether what he was doing would work. He was taking a different approach than everybody else. Everybody, and it was a crowded market, right? The ad tech market at the time was crowded, um, and he was saying, everybody's doing it this way. I'm going to go do it this way. Um, he had a really hard time raising money. In fact, it was not easy to convince people to invest in his company. Um, and for me, I didn't know if his way would work or if the other way would work. So I invested in both of them. I invested in companies in both ways, which is what you can do as a venture capitalist. You're running a portfolio, right? So, there's a blog post I wrote, God, it had to be 15 years ago, where I said, here are 5 different ways the ad tech market could turn out. And I invested in 4 of them, that 4 different ways. The fifth way, the ad exchange, was already too well developed for me to invest in, but the other 4 were still open. And I said, one of these 4 is going to be it. So let me invest in a company in each of these 4 ways. And Trade Desk was one of them, and they ended up being the winner.
Can you describe your framework for making investment decisions, especially in early stage companies? How much do you rely on data versus intuition when evaluating potential investments?
Well, so I invest as early as I can, right? It's usually, 2 people and an idea. Um, so there's not a lot of data. There's data about the market they're going into. There's data about competitors, and I use that data. I focus in specific markets over. They change over time, but at any one point in time, I'm focusing in a couple of specific markets. So I know the markets pretty well. I don't have to go out and do a bunch of research because I've already done that. So when people pitch me, I can evaluate whether they have a good idea, and if they know what they're doing. And typically, I'll only invest if they know a lot more about the market than I do. So, but I have a basic understanding of what they're doing, and whether it will work or not, who the competitors might be. But other than that, there's not a lot of data. It's not like they have you know 2 years of income statements that I can look at, or any of that kind of thing. They may be talking to some customers, or know some customers, and I could talk to those customers, but it's pre-product. So I don't think a lot of that kind of due diligence is going to get me anything. But that's, it's different, right? Depends on your stage.